Yo, it's classic with Classic Cold Sports, man. Ben Whittaker comes out and gets a second round stoppage, looking good. Been stopping guys very, very early on. He said he had a conversation with what was it, Terrence Crawford, and Terrence Crawford told him he played too much, and ever since then he been getting guys the heck up out of there. Ben Whittaker disposes of Rivera pretty quickly, pretty easily. Much too quick, much too fast, much too athletic, much too much of everything for Rivera last night. Before Rivera knew what was going on for real, the fight was already over. Here's the thing I want to say, though. Ben has been impressive to me from the get-go. Regardless of whether or not you're fighting against tomato cans, I can see certain things ability-wise that let me know whether or not somebody has, some reasonable potential. Whether or not they live out their potential, that always remain to be seen. Ben doesn't have a ton of fights so far, and one thing I can say is he's pretty heavily unchallenged. We know that he had his little controversy with the whole, getting pushed out flipped off the ring and all that stuff, coming back and rematching the guy and doing what he needs to do. But aside from that, man, Ben needs to take a couple steps up. I know over here on this card, they wanted Ben to look good. So they probably found somebody for him to look good against. But I think it's going to serve him better in his career as he maneuvers to go ahead and start taking some steps upward. And I'm not saying that he needs to run out. They asked him after the fight if he was ready for a championship level. I don't know whether he is or he isn't. Only he would know that. He knows who his sparring is with. He knows what he's done and what levels he's operated on in preparation for the fights he's had. But as far as his level of opposition on his resume as a professional, I don't think that it's gotten him ready for guys at the highest level at the light heavyweight division. I think that Ben needs to take a couple of steps up over the course of his next few fights and get with some guys that are really going to make him dig a bit to win these fights, man. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's coming out winning unanimous decision against these guys or even still producing stoppages, he needs to fight some guys where, man, you ain't getting them out of there before the 6th. You just not. You know what I'm saying? Dude gonna take a little while to break down. You know what I mean? He need to get in there with some guys that's going to really, push him and get him all the way together. Some guys that got some intangibles that give you a hard time, right? Some quick counter punchers, or some guys that punch with you real well, or some guys that stalk you, to no end, something like that. We need to find some work to get Ben up to a certain level, because right now, being that light heavyweight like he is, man, I mean, shit, you got guys like Benavidez that still can make light heavyweight. You got guys like, Opataya is a bigger guy. He's a cruiserweight, so I don't think he's going to play with light heavyweight. But, I mean, you got guys like, Bivol that can play around over there. Better BF can play around over there. I don't know if Zerto Ramirez is retiring. I think Ben beats him. He's just too slow. He's a cruiserweight, though. He's up a division. But I'm just trying to think who all at light heavyweight, man. It's some people that can move into that division from below that could probably create some issues if Ben don't continue to progress in competition. I know he works hard in the gym. I see his work ethic. I follow him on socials and stuff. He's a very active guy. He's serious about the sport. He has a lot of charisma. He's good for the sport. I like Ben Whittaker a lot, but I definitely feel like I want to see him challenged much more before I see him start taking some real bites off the apple as far as competition and championships and things like that. But we shall see, man. I will say his division isn't super deep, but the best guys that he would have to fight, he does need to get ready for. So everything remains to be seen with Ben Whittaker, but so far, so good. He passes with flying colors, sliding over here to the USA and making a name for himself, man. Shout out to Ben Whittaker. We wishing him much success, and we following him closely, man. Maybe he will become a no documented ducking candidate as he begins to challenge himself in his career. We'll see when people start calling his name how he handles it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's been another edition of Classic Code Sports. If you don't do nothing for me, make sure you stick to the codes. We got another classic. If you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com. Or you can shoot me a Cash App. Either way, stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my heart, now hardened